so coordinated that they did one night that they did all of them at the same time. All within 3 minutes of each other.
All the military bases at the same time?
At the exact same time.
And you were there when it happened?
Yeah.
What? That's crazy.
We had aircraft outside.
So what did they...
Normally we keep them inside, but our aircraft were going to fly over a football game for the opening of a football game.
Yeah.
And there were, we had 6 aircraft that were getting ready to leave to do that, so they left them out overnight. And they spotted them flying over our aircraft and mapping. You can see them. They're not putting off heat signatures, but you can see like laser mapping.
Dude, that's insane.
Going off like 3D mapping.
Yeah.
And they went to our magazines. The magazine where we keep all the ammo for the helicopters.
Yeah.
And then the magazine where we keep all the ammo for the jets. And my base is unique. It has these Southeast Response Team, which there's 4 fighter jets that stay there that are fully armed.
Oh, wow.
That have missiles and machine gun rounds in them, and they're loaded, and they have these heaters that run that keep the engines warm, and electronics that stay on so the aircraft actually stays turned on. And fighters and pilots are there 24/7. They rotate out.
Okay.
And they go out, and so in theory they can get on alert and be off the ground in 3 minutes.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. And I've seen them do it, and they're pretty damn quick.
You've seen them?
They'll get a scramble alert, and they'll run out there and jump in the airplanes, and they're taxiing down the runway, and the canopy hasn't even closed yet.
Wow. Have you seen any of the drones over the base?
Yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, you've seen the drones over the base. What do they look like?
Yeah. So there's different types. There's ones that look like kind of like quadcopters, but they have more than 4 blades. It looks like there's 6 to 8 blades on them, and then there's ones that are fixed wing that are over it. But see, the thing is, we have on our base that's designed to defeat drones that are flying under, if they're receiving any kind of signal.
Yeah.
They're designed to defeat them.
So it makes them
land.
It
makes them land, right?
Yeah, it sees the signal that's being broadcast to it, and it duplicates it and takes it over, or it either jams it, which causes it to land. And they defeated them. They defeated our systems.
Man, that's wild.
And you don't believe this is U.S. military stuff?
No, they would have to. There's certain protocols that have to be done when you do that type of thing.
Yeah.
And so basically the Northeast Central Command and NORAD had us come and give a report of what happened because they were not informed of it. And there's no way that anybody would be allowed to do that.
That's crazy.
And I mean, there's a lot of theories going around that it's like it's Space Force and they're trying to prove a point, but to do all those bases coordinated at that time, that takes a lot of. You're talking about dozens of bases that were overflown within minutes of each other.
How long ago?
I mean, you can't fly.
How long ago did this happen?
That started in October, and it hasn't really stopped.
Wow, so it's like a recurring thing all the time.
It happens on the regular.
So let me ask you this: how come you guys don't shoot them down if you've seen them?
So under FAA law, you're not allowed to shoot down any aircraft over the U.S. without congressional approval.
Why do you think these drones are showing up to the bases? To collect information or to do something nefarious?
Nefarious. They're collecting information to coordinate a large-scale I believe that collect information to coordinate a large-scale attack.
Damn.
And I believe the players that are going to be involved it's not just one state. I believe it's a conglomerate of countries that are coming together that are being involved in this. Because this thing went to our magazine and flew to each corner of the magazine.
It was like,
and while it was
like analyzing it.
And there's a team from Clemson that came out, like computer engineers and robotic engineers and stuff. They came out and they're trying to figure out what signals they're operating off of, and they're not being fed a signal. So these are pre-programmed. They're running off of AI or something. They're probably taking like Google Earth images and saying, okay, scan this to give me accurate dimensions of where it is. And that way, if they can get a 3D scan, they can look for weak spots, because images from, satellite images are not that great. But if you can go and do a 3D scan and a 3D model of something, and you take out, they scanned those airplanes while they were out there on the tarmac, and then went down the runway and scanned the runway, and then they went and scanned all the other F-16s that were parked out there. So,
is there video?
And they scanned our Apaches. So,
is there video evidence of this, like with the military?
Oh yeah.
But obviously,
yeah, there's plenty of video, film evidence of it.
Obviously, it can never be released, right?
Doubt it.
I'd love to get my hands on it.
At some point in time, it has to be released, but
yeah. Like you saw the one.
Doubt it.
You saw that one in Afghanistan recently that got leaked. It was like flying over the military base in Afghanistan, and literally nobody can see it, and you can see it like appearing and disappearing, and it looked like some weird robot, and nobody was able to detect it. So some guy recently leaked it from the military. I don't know if you saw it, but it was a pretty freaking crazy video clip. I seen it in like some documentary on Netflix recently.
Yeah.
Does it look like that, or does it look like a normal drone or like a quadcopter?
No, it looks like a military grade drone. So it looks like.
Dang.
But if you look at what's going on in the world today with drones. And how much they've changed the battlefield. Just look at what's going on with Ukraine and Syria. It has changed the battlefield so much to the point where the AI part is kind of what scares me the most. I wasn't happy with drones, especially when they decided to arm drones and use them for combat.
Yeah, that's like the worst idea ever.
I wasn't happy with that when that happened, because when you have zero chance of losing a life, and you're going to take a life, it makes that decision to take a life a whole lot easier. Because it's not nearly as weighted.
It's like they're playing a video game at this point, right?
Yeah. And to be realistic, so many people are honestly desensitized to playing video games like that you can get soldiers and people involved in that, and it doesn't faze them at all.
Okay, so let me ask you this: like for the military bases, like when the drones show up there, what if one of you what if you guys got the order to shoot it down? What the heck would you shoot a drone down with?
So there's energy weapons that you have, and then there's conventional weapons that you have. Basically you got shotguns, and then you have energy weapons that are designed to send out a pulse of energy that confuses the signals going to it. But if you've got something that's not being sent signals and is flying off of AI, it can be shielded from that. So
my concern is they're gonna use all this. Like I've kind of thought about this, is like, what if this is like a deep state operation to kind of like expand regulations to drones and ban the public from using public drones? You know what I mean? Like, because they always try to find any reason to ban the public from using actual drones.
And And I feel like this is going to turn into something like that.
It wouldn't surprise me if that's, I mean, people are going to exploit that, but this is too coordinated, it's too big, it's too much stuff going on that doesn't, because I mean, if you're trying to do that, you would want it to be as loud and out there as possible.
Yeah.
And the stuff they're doing over these bases, nobody knows about. You know, it's every now and then there's a whistleblower and somebody finds out about something, but nobody knows what's going on over these bases. You know, if they did, they would be freaking terrified. We have to create drone countermeasures on the daily in our workforce, in our workplace. You have to create your drone countermeasure. And right now, when you spot a drone, you just have to bring people in, and hopefully they're not getting accurate numbers of who's there and how many boots are on ground. And, you know.
So that only means that you guys are like kind of being overwhelmed by drones. Like you guys are being harassed.
Yeah, and the problem is we're so limited to our response. So our response is being so limited, and so it's the best way of saying this. We can't do what we should be doing, is what I'm saying.
Which is shooting them out of the sky.
We should be shooting them down, analyzing them, figuring out exactly where they came from and who's behind it. And they have been flying now for so long over these bases and over these critical infrastructures that, you know, with nothing stopping them, that they're not going to stop.
But there's no way that the military doesn't know where they're landing to get recharged. Like, it's not like they have an unlimited battery. Like, that doesn't exist.
So we followed one, and it flew away from the base longer than we could pursue it. We ran out. Our guys had to land for fuel. So it was flying away from the base.
And this
for over 400 miles.
And this is a battery-operated drone, not a fuel-operated drone.
Can't tell. It's not putting off a thermal image.
Oh, shit.
Dang. Dude, that's crazy. What? I'm so invested in this. Like, you don't understand. Like, I've been, like, living, trying to find information about this. Like, 'cause this is crazy, man. Like, this is a whole new ball game.
It is, and it doesn't, you know, there's, even if you're so let's say, you know, best case scenario, they're just hobbyist kids. There's some little group that's got some page that they're trying to fill up with content of all this stuff, and they're trying to break the law, like the kids that wanted to storm Area 51. You know, we figured out how we can do this now, you know, and they've that's best case scenario, right? Where do they get the technology to defeat the countermeasure systems that we have?
Yeah, like the U.S. has like the best intelligence and best systems anywhere. Damn.
Yeah, they didn't get that information, you know?
I don't think any country...
The kids didn't find that.
Yeah.
You know?
I
don't think any country has, like, this technology. This has got to be, like, out of outer space type of technology, man.
It is so deep.
Yeah.
I mean, when you talk about deep state, this is like, oh my gosh, way deep state.
Yeah.
For them to be able to completely pull one over the entire military's eyes, including, you know, all the way up to NORAD and all hands, you know, that not being informed about it, which is unheard of, to believe one way or the other about it. And I've seen them on very cloudy, overcast days too.
What, the drones?
The drones, yeah.